I'm Zinc, and this is Godot, game development. Something. So previously, let's see if it's going to work. Hopefully, I experimented a bit with scaling stuff. Explosions. Tried also having some fog of war, unsuccessfully. But the idea today, what I will try to do, is when I approached a star, it would zoom in automatically. And when I leave the star, it would zoom out. Yeah. Same like this, like fly around, enter the area, zoom in, and it zooms in as much as it needs to. Yeah, something like that. Cue the music. 1, 2. That's on the quiet side, but it's fine. So, for that, I would need to, I guess, modify this code. Would be the sizes are to be determined, but in general I would say we have multiple collision shapes. Be color purple or something. Sun area. Sun. Planet. Moon. Or station. Planet area, collision shape, slightly increased. Basically a sphere of influence. Moon area, slightly higher. Should probably ensure that it's like this, like the pie charts or diagrams, something like that. Okay, we enter sphere of influence. We one level. Their planet influence in one level, and I guess it's just self-explanatory. Okay. Make it to a group. Camera group. Mm-hmm. Body entered or node entered? Area entered. Area exited. Generate method. Get 3. Call group. Shake camera. No, method will be called zoom out. Zoom in and camera code. Zoom out. Okay, something like that. Oh yeah, but we will know reference exception because that requires showing. Plus this one does not. Sun area, planet area, moon area. Look, it works. How nice. But I would say I would need to have some tween. Yeah, and of course it kinda does not work as well when you have two overlapping sphere influences, which is can be avoided using proper generation, I guess, or something. Okay, I do need a tween then. Mm-hmm. Tween, create tween. Okay. Mm-hmm. Create tween. Tween property. Owner. This. And property is zoom. I'm using zoom from the process node, which is, I think it's correct. Yeah, it's not. Well, kinda it is. Mm. Zoom. Duration. Audience don't like. Mm-hmm. This is a life cycle thingy. Zoom twins, set transition, transition type, dot. Elastic or something, I don't know. Doesn't matter at the moment. Scale rotation. Oh, it can use a vector. You can just reuse this code. And we just do this zoom vector. That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. zoom equals previous zoom level not equals current zoom level. Animate zoom. This one should also be 0 then. Something like that. Then I don't need it here. It will only be called first. Something bugging out. Null reference exception. C# we one. Okay, I'm getting errors. Twin property zoom does not exist in object camera 2D. What do you mean? Twin callback. Get node. Sprite. Twin play. But then why camera 2D does not have this? I'm not sure. Twin bound to started with no tweeners. Twin interpolates. Getting some errors about zoom does not existing. Does it need to? Oh, it needs to be lowercase, of course. Because, you know, reasons. Let's go. Beautiful. It does take a while to zoom in. .3 seconds or something. Yeah, it counts this area, entering, exiting. Yeah, and then we leave the system, we start traveling faster to another system. Enter the system, enter the planets, and then... Okay, this works. Back to this one. So, we fly in, it zooms. I need to remove that explosion, it's annoying. Oh yeah, the code also needs to be the explosion. Okay, explosion removed. Oh, come on, Godot. Well, or OBS. I don't know. Someone is. Come on. Good. Okay, so you enter the area, it zooms in. Do you need a single more zoom in level? We fly about. We enter another area. Unfortunately, does not zoom in for some reason. Why? Because the inner area is not triggering what it needs to trigger. So we fly about, we enter the system. Oh, look, it's a planet. We enter the planet, and now we're traveling the planet speed. Of course, our collision shape is not changing, which is not correct. And when we fly around the planet, enter the moon system. Yeah, this is manageable. The camera's area needs also to be scaled. So camera needs to have property. Shape 2D. Shape. Shape dot scale equals zoom dot x or something. Oh, it's just equals zoom. Build it. Surprisingly, on this project, it does not crash compared to my original game, where it's just constantly crashing if I add additional exported property. So we zoom in. Why did it change the scale outwards? Because it changes the collision. Wait. It needs to be inverted. Hmm. Yeah, that is definitely not correct. Guess if I fly in, it jumps and as the collision shape changes the size, it messes it up. Zoom level. Saying to add a callback. Callback. Maybe. Let's see. I think that would be the last one. You can always just hard code the scale. See? For sure it needs to be opposite, because you see it's becoming bigger. Inverse scale. Similar to movement scale. You zoom in. Yeah, you see at the edge of the trigger, it stops being detected and triggers multiple events. But in general, while you're still moving, it's fine. I don't know why the location is shifted. Yeah. The edge collisions are kinda messing up. Or I would need to have a fuzzy logic. Yeah, could be. Like if I exited the area, I can say, hey, but that would trigger again. Basically need to have a collision debounce logic. Or dead zone. But I don't know. It does seem to work kinda like you wanted. Because I want to avoid this kind of situations where it's just like, oh, it scales down and now it's not being triggered. Hmm. I have two shapes or something. But that's double the objects. One-way collision? No, that's actually not the right way. Okay. That feels okay-ish at the moment. Like it would work. I can tweak the sizes. Mm. Yeah, it needs to be a fuzzy zone. Or handle the collision shape a bit different. Yep. Anyways, it means that this method seems to be working. As long as I don't stay at the edge too long. Or I can teleport the player inside the zone. Like if I change the zone, it would move it. Animate zoom. Dishes, it also needs to have a reference to zoom out, zoom in. Like call the area? Property. This position. Current area. Mm-hmm. Animate zoom. Okay, that is not current area, but position. Next position. If we're zooming in, we need to go closer. Area position. We need to normalize it, so area position minus position and times 0.9, like moving 10% closer or something. And do the same thing, but actually 10% further away. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Whoa. Teleported. Okay, it teleports to 0, 0 location or something. Nice. I think my vector math is not correct. Position. I need to debug it. Oh yeah, of course it will not lie because it's C#. Can I debug from here? Or will it break everything? Of course. Of course. Whatever. Area position. Oh. Of course I know why it does not work, because it uses relative position, not global. Makes sense. No. No. I don't need to use subtraction, I need to find the angle between these. Vector math. We get an angle. We multiply the position. Math. Angle. I get an angle. Can I convert vector to polar coordinates? Okay. Magnitude dot APS yeah. So we have our magnitude, and then we multiply that magnitude by some angle or some proportional, which means it will be 1.1 or 10% longer. with orange. Orange tries to move here, but the red's influence is somewhere here. Whatever. Find the angle of it. Find the angle. I found the magnitude. Magnitude. So for example, 5. And I would need to add like 5.5% or something. So the current position here needs to be added 10%. Yeah, the current position here, add a vector of 0.5 and angle of alpha. So magnitude times 0.1 current position, add magnitude times 0.1 towards direction of this, but normalize. Hi there. I'm doing math times normalize. So magnitude direction vector. Yeah, I can show what's up. Pretty sure it's not going to work as well, but I'm trying to have automatic transitions of scale. So when we enter the circle, it will zoom out automatically. And now I'm trying to fix up the scaling issues. Because if you end up at the edge, it would clip in and out just because the collision shape changes the shape and it stops colliding. How am I doing? I would say okay. This song is very... Hey, where's the chip tunes? Also, my music updates stopped. That is better. Okay, I'm doing okay. Yeah. A bit tired, I guess. But that kind of tired you cannot sleep it off. So yeah. Makes it difficult a bit. Okay. Next position. Let's not do that here. So, to our current position, we take a vector, likely wrong location, or at least wrong direction. Could be either this minus this or this minus that. It actually changes the direction of the vector. A unit vector. We take then the length of that change. Take the length. But something is not working. That's why. We take a length. We take next length. It's kind of difficult to set up debugging for Godot C#. Next length. Okay, let's see what we get. Debugging. Interesting. It's just cool. I made a collider. Huh? I made things sticky. Yeah, so it's likely that the direction is not correct. let's flip it up. Math. Imagine that I actually learned this math. Nope, still teleports me out. Well, technically it is should be teleporting out. Okay, so where's my mouse? This is our current position. The next position, well, the position of the area is in here. The length difference 7 between these two. Seven. And I should be teleporting out. That is not the right thing. Minus? A sign check? Did anyone come here or I'm just the only one writing? You're only one. Sunday is usually quite quiet. Okay, it teleports me out still to the wrong location. If I make it a bit more... It's very odd. I literally made just a regular collider. Which is bizarre. And obviously it does not work correctly because some of the coordinates seems to be messing up. Damn man, call it your stream. Yeah, I'm doing that for myself, not for my like mostly entertainment stuff. Because, you know, starting to do stuff and talking about it, like coding, speaking a bit is a good thing. Makes me focus a bit better. Maybe I need to change the scale earlier? Next skill. What happens if I try to add a zoom into? Oh, things start teleporting. Well, tuk tuk. Yeah, dude, when I stream on Twitch, I don't have any guy expect those. Yeah, you were scammer. It comes from a bit, like, especially if you have some kind of schedule and people come around. Adding a bit of Shazam, like some stream elements, some overlays, does help. Some people go in to watch like a specific kind of content, like maybe just gaming or a specific genre. Some don't. How the hell did I make just a regular collider? Okay, that is definitely not good. Yeah, using it as a teleport. Time to delete this. Delete. Do not zoom position. Though I can zoom the scale. I think it's going to be fine as it is for the moment. As we fly out. Yeah, that is what I want to avoid. Yeah, but you can see how it should behave. Hop, hop, zoom out, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom in. I guess if I tune the next collider size, so it would not scale down that much, it should be better. Zoom in, fly about, build stuff. Zoom out. You can see it's like flipping. But the scale keeps consistent. Yeah, it just bounces around. Wait. Why do we need to actually change it so much? It can be just a singular point. I don't need to have a big collider. Yes. I just reduced the size of initial collider. Scale. Collision shape. Pixel. 0.1 pixel. Subpixel collider. Position 0. Collision shape. But I have my brother sometimes, but he wants me distracted, so I die in one shot in game. Nice. This is sometimes also the content. Why my icon is in the wrong location? I have the camera. Oh, because the icon is not on the camera. Makes sense. can see how it nicely transitions apart. Texture size. It was correct in here, but the canvas layer was not centered. Camera. Now it's good. So we approach. For some reason, the first layer is zoom out. Oh, I know why. Previous needs to be -1. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, fly out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Beautiful. An intersection between two places. This is zoom in. What about this cluster of stars? You can see it's just went in. Yeah, that kind of works. It's quite pretty. Now that as I reduce the size of the collider, seems to be working quite nice. And being able to trigger it on the edge seems to be not an issue anymore. So it was just issue of scaling, of course. If I hide the colliders and start again. See how I can fly about, get closer. Fly out. Fly out, fly in. There's multiple stars, that's why it's glitching that much. Okay. So I'll be just probably tuning the tutorial zone and seeing what kind of scaling I need to have for it to be interactable. Good. Great success. Ugh. That seems to be able to work. I'll use a reward for myself. That did not work. No. Sweet. Okay. What kind of type is it? select material, new shader material, box shader. Of course. Sprite 2D, shader material, quick load, box shader, sprite texture will be sure new noise texture or something. Points. Acoustic. Nice. Acoustic usually sounds quite well. Uniforms pass from GD script. Okay. Basic fog of war shader. Get a demo project. That's actually pretty good. Debug scene, controller, shader. Okay. Scan it just in case. Scan is good. Extract all. Extract. Where's the code? F code. Paste. Open this. Open this. Project scene. Okay. F code. Nope. Learners. Imports. Okay. I'm currently trying to open up an example project. Nice. I played on a few years back I learned 2 to 3 years, but I stopped. Now I got so bored and sad I think the game alone. Played on electric 4 and I played a lot of meme songs. Well, as long as they are fun. Actually, it's for me like playing more difficult songs seem to be better than just simple. Like I could do like very complicated riffs. I could not remember those, but using notes and game I could. Now I'm learning playing with fingers and play, for example, from the game of Last of Us. That is a very good soundtrack to play. And the bug scene. This debug thing does not seem to work. Does even the controller work? Wait, what? Oh, it uses mouse, of course. Genius. Its shader does not work. Of course, I'm not showing everything. And of course, the Godot said no. Um. Localization. Shader. With no points. Hidden color. Basic war shader. Debug scene. Check for new points. Like it should paint something so I could see, but it doesn't. Points count. Threshold. Maybe it does not matter. Maybe. Would love for it to actually be working. Guess it will break. Darkness, whatever. Does it? How much does it matter now? Probably not that much. Still a bunch of more other gameplay elements I need to implement first. Solo Splatter. This one looks interesting. Copy. Shader material. Or color rectangle. Material. New shader material. New shader. Blah blah blah. I don't really care. Paste. Save. Look, pretty. This is nice. The power of shaders. Do you think I should start editing and put my playthroughs on YouTube? That requires quite a bit of patience. I used to do that quite often, but it got tiring quite a bit without, I guess, extra editor. If your playthroughs are full of action packed, then yeah, you can like take some couple of segments and make a couple of shorts. You can use the clip feature on Twitch to, I guess, time it. It would be easier to export rather than just scrubbing through all of the video. Yeah, it gets quite a bit tiring, especially if it's like slower paced ones. Like if you want to cut out every boring part, unfortunately, there's not that much of automation you can do. So, for example, a 3-hour video could take like at least 3 hours to edit. The best way you can reduce the time of editing is ensuring the recording production is good enough quality. So, if your production value is good, you don't need to do a lot of other things, like you make sure the microphone is fine, you don't then need to adjust the microphone, you make sure when you start your intro is already prepared, then it's okay, you don't need to edit that much. This is a nice shader. Yeah. It would be amazing if I could just like play and do stuff and someone else just edits the videos. But that requires budget. And a very large budget. This looks nice. Particles. Okay. This one will be hidden. Save and close, whatever. Game world scaling. Should probably start moving the scaling thingies into my actual game. Probably. How did I come up with my avatar? I used Stable Diffusion to just generate a bunch of robot-looking thingies. It was initially like this one, this little guy. And then I found a fairly good Blender tutorial on how to do low poly modeling. Tried it, transferred it, seems to be fine. And now I have Not the same one, not that much detail, but it's good enough. Something moving, something fast, which is better than just plain screen, especially when you're doing coding, you know. Having something in the corner doing things is fairly good. So, transfer. How can I open another Godot instance? I can. Trying to remember, did I actually upload the code previously? I don't think I did. We need to take my laptop. It's a BGS. Is it updated or is it not? Yep, that's definitely not updated. I need to open up my laptop to transfer the code. Where is it? Laptop. My good old 10-year-old laptop or something. Although one would barely could call it a laptop because it cannot be used without the power supply because the battery is taken out. It was replaced 2 times and each of those times it just got bloated. Unfortunately, it's not just a simple battery. It also has some internal circuitries. Or did I actually update it? I need to check it, double check. But it still works. It had multiple surgeries. Where's my keyboard? Its keyboard, built-in keyboard does not work. Its built-in touchpad does not work. But it's fast. Well, relatively fast. It can do game development on very old hardware. And it also runs Linux. Where's my code? Code, please. Code. So my current desk has 5 monitors. 1 source control, 1 Godot, 1 OBS, 1 Visual Studio, and a laptop. The hell was I doing here? I was doing something, I don't remember what. Oh, scaling thingies. Sure, whatever. I was removing a galaxy map. Well, not the galaxy map, system map scenes. Also was trying to make the progress tracker, but it was meh. Yeah. Sync changes, okay. Good. changes are synced. Now I can resync here, fetch. Check out. Why I need to download this here? I don't. Turn off the laptop. Go sleep. Yeah. The laptop also had its SSD failed. BIOS chip failed because Intel decided, hey, let's limit the amount of times you can use it. Okay, I'm see you next stream, I guess. Take care. Okay, so this one is updated. Didn't I have our list open? Nope, I did not. The code is updated. Now let's open the another project. Project opened. I have the main scene. Main scene has things in it. And what else? To just open where it's located and transfer the scene, maybe. Create new folder, scaling, and then open the previous place where it's located. Showing file system. Showing file explorer. Scaling. Okay. Where is the thingy? Let's transfer the files. Okay. This one is required. This script, camera script, body script. This one is not needed. Fog shader is not needed. This one is not needed. Icon is not, well, maybe it's needed. Scene, project file not needed. Star shader, sun shader. Copy, paste. Okay, now the code has been transferred. Hopefully. Code has been transferred, so which means I can close this one. And go to the main scene. Okay. No, we are in the game. Good. We have main menu, system details, scene. So we need to check the where's the camera? The ship has a camera. Yeah, it has a camera. Did my phone wanted something? Kinda. Okay, ship has a camera. Ship is silly. And we have camera code, which is transferred, which is amazing. Which means we can start doing stuff. This can be closed. Camera. Ship. Drag center. Root. Not the main menu, not UI root. UI root is not needed at the moment. We need the main scene. So this is where our map will live. This is where the scaling should happen. Star shader, sun shader, and stuff. This is something. Main scene. Galaxy. Why do I have that in the galaxy? Oh, because I wanted to separate things. For some reason. Galaxy node. So this is my map. Just a simple polygon. Ah. Why is it a polygon? No, oh, so I could move it. We have our map bounds. We have our camera. Start hover size. I would also use the information panel on the hovering. Why it has a star scene? Star node. Mm-hmm. And now we have the big map. Big map, small ship. Big map, small ship. Is it critical launch? I don't need debugging. Okay. Sun shader, starry shader. Where's the grid shader? Somewhere. Why everything takes up so much space? Godot, please. Project editor settings. Display scale 75. Sure, save and restart. That's better. I can see stuff now. Camera, capital ship, galaxy. Main scene. System detail scene. What is this? System scene. System scene. This one should not even exist. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one. Yeah. This scene should not exist. It does not need to exist. Body node, orbital slot node. Bye bye scene. Do we need a galaxy scene? I don't think so. I do need star container. I think this should just be main scene. Why do I have so much tabs opened? Okay. Star container. Is it even star container? Probably. So let's cut this out from here, go to the main scene and just paste it in the main scene. Because that's all just the main scene. There's no other scenes apart the main scene because, well, technically you don't need it. Star container, paste it here. Galaxy then becomes a part of the main scene. Galaxy node then just goes bye-bye. Star container stuff goes from the galaxy node. Why the hell the mouse is here? To the main. Star container. To the main scene. Do we need the star scene? I don't know. Stars. Fill star container. Sure, maybe I do need star scene. Paste. Everything else is just nonsense. Sure. Then we go find the galaxy node CS, galaxy node scene. Delete it. Yes. Delete it. Yes. Simplification is important. And now look, it's beautiful. Ship controller. Or do I just add it in the... Galaxy node does not exist anymore then. Galaxy node does not exist anymore. So we can fly around. We have zero reference to the sizes. Where is it? Oh, grid shader is not existing. Okay, let's copy the grid shader. Shaders. Grid shader. Material, shader, material, and instead of this one, take a grid shader. Why can't I just drop it here? Can. Okay. So I could at least see to which direction I'm going. Subdivision color. Okay. So what message? Nani? Okay. So that's a grid shader. Grid shader. I don't know why it was lagging that much, but whatever. We have the grid. Game scenes, that's scaling. Camera scene. Why do you sockets? Zoom. I guess it's a ship controller that has it. Ship controller. Okay, let's move to the code. It's a bit difficult to see. Camera controls. Yep, sounds about right. Oh, everything should become so much easier because I don't need to like switch between multiple scenes. Camera controls. Oh look, I even have the zoom tween. A zoom label. Position, collision shape. Okay, zoom levels. Zoom levels, zoom indexes. Already have the zoom tween. Do I need a zooming? I don't think I need the zooming. Next position, again, not needed. We have animate and update camera. Delete. Delete. Desired zoom. Orbiting, not really. Process. Okay. Have the movement scale. That's basically it. Okay. Desired zoom context switch. I deleted. Ship controller. Add to groups. Add it to a group. Animate zoom. It's definitely not this. Ship.camera. Ship camera. Move. Movement scale. Something about that. Camera controls, okay. Now it's the same one. Someone just needs to call it zoom in, zoom out. Which means I need colliders first. Camera controls. So the galaxy map needs to be, well, I guess, generating stuff. Bootstrap game state. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Game state, travel speed. Uh-huh. The scenes. What is the main how does the main scene populate the stars? What does the main scene have a camera? Well, this is definitely not needed. Enable system detail. All of these are not needed anymore. System detail scene. Well, it's definitely not there anymore, so bye-bye. So much stuff now, it's just gone. Enable system detail, disable system detail. Mm-hmm. Gone, missing, deleted. Unnecessary. Fill star container. Cool. I'm hungry. No. Spread position, stars, star node. It creates a star scene. Mm-hmm. Of a star node. Systems. Hmm. Hmm. What's the start node? Start node. This thing. Star node has a shader, a visual. We have interaction area for UI, and then we have interaction area for player. It kind of has most of the things it needs to have. What does my game save file actually do? Saves. I don't have the saves. Player collision. It's a galaxy system. Technically, it can be anything. What? Yeah, as they had this separation of galaxy scale versus system scale, that's why it made sense to have like galaxy system, then body or something, but now it's just everything just is the body. It just has a visual, a specific visual. If I have a star node, instantiate, set the position. Yeah, from game state, I somehow need to generate everything. Assume the star node should also have a option to generate its own things. Boost saturation. Why? What about the system app? What does it do? System scene. It has a background. Wow. A load system. And it's just instantiates the body nodes. Just probably makes sense. Star node. System scene probably needs to be deleted. Auto body. And body node scene. Yeah, of course it will fail to build because I kind of massacred everything. Also check the timing just in case I will not be overstaying. We have a body node. Body node has a script. Body node has a script. Technically, everything is a body. Body node is just a visualization of it, I guess. Body node, body node, body node. Back to the code. Single system body, star planet mode in a spatial system view. That's an old thing, but yeah, it represents basically anything. It also can represent a building, because that's just a thing. Orbiter module for orbiting its parent and spawns child body nodes. Yeah, you just need body types. Initialize system body data. Initialize this node from body data. Call after adding scene tree. System body data. Data. If I'm orbiting or not. Build child orbit polygons. Oh, it's a for orbiter. Apply the shader. Yeah. So you basically should switch between planet and star. Makes sense. Resize interaction shape data. Yeah, this is basically all of the bigger the thing, the bigger the interaction area, which is probably also could be like sphere of influence or something. But I think that should be probably a different item. Spawn orbital slots. Yeah, so we go in and then builds a bunch of slots. So things which we can build in. And then we do some recursion, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so I think star node can't go bye-bye. It's not necessary anymore. It's outdated, not useful. And to ensure that is the case, we deleted star node. Star node scene, delete. Ship playground, yes. Delete. This interaction area. Yeah, it considers a body. It interacts with the ship. Makes sense. I would say it needs to have two thingies. Area 2D. Let's call it gravity well or something. Collision shape 2D. Shape, of course, it's just a regular circle, but a different color. Let's make it greenish. And by default, it should be larger. Mm-hmm. Interaction collider. Gravity well collider. Gravity well. Collision. It's a body. Collides with the ship. Status 0. Gravity well is what triggers zoom in, zoom out in ship controller. Okay, go back to the code. Exports property area 2D. Call it gravity well. Call it a gravity well. So as from the experiments, we'll be using the gravity well to distinguish when to zoom in and when to zoom out. As for another comment, gravity well size should be slightly larger than all orbiting bodies wells. In that way, Zoom levels should be consistent and moving between bodies, yes. So that is a body visual. Mm-hmm. Body node, star node, then does not exist anymore. Don't save. It's gone. It's missing. It's deleted. It's never going to appear again. So that is a gravity well, which means if I go back to the main scene, wait, what actually calls the initialize? System scene initialize. Okay, that is recursion. Initialize is being called by the system scene, which is a method of load the system. Sure, congrats, you'll be demoted to another class or something. On body hovered does not exist anymore. Inputs do not exist anymore. State panning blah 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 does not need to. Drill stack does not need to. Hover exports does not need to. So system scene.cs should be deleted. And these two also should be deleted. Delete. Bye bye. Mm-hmm. So this is a body node. Should be good now. No, actually. Because I'm missing something. Should be in the ready. Child body is also using body nodes, so yeah, it can be just in the ready. Events, hover, drill in, data, nope, I need overrides. What is the ready function? It does not have the ready function. Interesting. Public override ready. Nope. Gravity well dot area entered equals kinda, but no. Gravity well entered plus equal. And gravity will exited plus equal. Not really. Get 3. Call group. Ship controller. Zoom in area. Call group. Ship controller. Zoom out. Good. So body node is done. Yeah, body node triggers ship controller with the zoom in and zoom out. They dare to smoke in the balcony. It's prohibited. Yet they still do it. And by the time you find them, it's too late. Game state. Properties. Location tracking. Current body, current system. Do you need to track current system? Or just current body? I think it's just current body is enough. Player position in system does not exist anymore. Current system does not exist anymore. It's just current body. Yeah. System, player world position, player galaxy position. And of course the main scene will not be happy about everything else. Fill star container. Well, that does not exist anymore, mate. Try to resolve startup system. Well, that is just complete trash code. Mm-hmm. Bootstrap from game state. Trash. An active system changed. Well, it doesn't appear anymore. That should be a control-based ship controller. An active system cleared. Does not exist anymore. Mm-hmm. Bizarre. Fill star container. Not really, but load system means I think that's the case. Load system. Yeah, this one loads a single system. It should load every system. But that depends on my definitions of the game. Why are you gone? Generator, generation, nope. Bodies, nope. It's just generator that needs to be updated. We have galaxy generator and then we have system generator. It generates systems. System generator. Instead, it probably should just generate a bunch of bodies, which a root node should just always be a star type. How much time is it? It's been 3 hours. Yeah, I think it's enough for the coding because, for example, if I press build, look at these beautiful errors. There's a lot of refactoring to be done, but this, for the better, making the system simpler. Generation is not correct. Basically, what I need to do, I have the main scene, I have the generated data, and now I need to populate that data with nodes of body type. And likely get rid of this system body. Actually, no, it is the right type. Because the system body has the category, the ID, what's the sprite, radius, phase, whatever, and get the main body, which is, I guess, would be the top one. Yeah. Capital. System data root. Root body nodes, not really. Drill stack does not exist. This one does not exist. Hover near, no. Cannot always ship. Clear hover. That is again does not exist anymore. What does the game state did have for the stars? Try get body, try get system, current body, systems. Sure, private void load system, list of system. Simple. Data.systems. Load systems. Then go for each body. If a child is not nice system, body system, continue. And what it can be. It is like that's a default case, which is like body node C. I don't have it though. think it's just this one. Body node scene. Root bodies. Initialize. Body node initialize body system. Orbital slot scene. Pretty sure it's not necessary to have it here. Body node scene. And drill depth, again, is not necessary. Because all of the data should be already be compiled within. Drill depth, bye-bye. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit too much for today. I think it's fine. So yeah, I experimented with automatic scaling, which worked fairly well. And now I'm transferring all of that into the main scene. So I could just do it like this. Yeah, so I could just do like this. And basically that simplifies a lot of nodes, a lot of nesting is just being reduced just because that you can just zoom in enough. And we'll see later. There's likely to be optimization requirements of like, okay, if I'm zooming in here, everything else is not being rendered. Or if I zoom out, you also don't render the planets because, you know, it's kind of too small. We'll see how it goes. So in that case, I would be ending the stream on YouTube. So thanks for watching.